In 1959, the Oosterschelde was separated from Lake Veere because of the Delta Dam construction. This dam has decreased tidal currents, velocity, and the range of the Oosterschelde over the years. Located in Zeeland, the Oosterschelde is an estuary that is characterized by intertidal flats, deep gullies, artificial rocky shores, and shallow areas. There is a storm surge barrier between the estuary and the North Sea. In 2009, oyster reefs with Japanese oysters were installed in the Oosterschelde to dampen waves and prevent erosion. This area is considered a nature conservation area due to the presence of certain bird species, such as the oystercatcher, dunlin, and grey plover, which rely greatly on the sandbanks. In addition to these species, there are others that roam this habitat, including crabs and snails. Thus, a fully functioning ecosystem is crucial. The oysters form an integral part of the food web of this ecosystem. The problem is that the Oosterschelde storm surge barrier disrupted the natural equilibrium between erosion and sedimentation. During storms, the sand is eroded from the flats and carried into deep channels. Due to the barrier itself and the closure of adjacent water bodies, the current tides are too weak to bring back the sediments. The oyster reef itself cannot hold enough sediment to solve this issue. This causes a huge hunger problem. Because of this problem, there are not enough intertidal flats to provide an estuary for the migratory birds. To solve this problem, we can simply add sand, right? Unfortunately, this solution is too expensive and is not realistic. Traditional sand nourishment is not a sustainable way to compensate for the ongoing deficit. To regain the sediment balance, the government estimates that about 400 to 600 cubic meters of sand is needed. One way to fix the erosion problem in the Oosterschelde is by adding more openings to the existing Delta Dam. These openings would let more seawater flow in and out with the tides. Strong tidal currents could help carry sand back into the flats, instead of it being swept away into deeper channels. This works because more water exchange increases the tidal prism, which boosts flow velocity and bed shear stress. That added energy helps lift and transport sand, activating natural sediment movement. This increased sediment deposition results in the erosion of coastal sand flats being reversed. A real project where a dam was removed actually resulted in coastal erosion being reversed. A reversal of coastal erosion would result in more intertidal areas being available for water birds to feed on, strengthening their populations. These openings would need to be closable or have a one-way flow to ensure that the dam can still fulfill its main functions as flood protection. It is also important to ensure these openings do not interfere with commercial shipping in the Oosterschelde. A more far-fetched solution could be to add salt marshes to prevent further sand erosion. It prevents it mainly by dense vegetation and development of soil layers, which buffer the wave intensities and bind the soil. A successful example of this approach is found in the Klimdone project in the Oosterschelde, where constructed salt marshes have helped trap sediments and reduce wave impact. However, by adding salt marshes, less area may be available for migratory birds that are specialized in the mudflats. But considering the decreasing opportunities due to the deepening of these mudflats, applying salt marshes could potentially improve the mudflats for the migratory birds, despite decreasing the bird areas. In order to preserve the biodiversity of the Oosterschelde, there needs to be action taken on the current issues. By understanding the hydrodynamics and ecology of the area, a feasible and appropriate solution can be achieved. Two possible solutions that should be explored more deeply include strategic openings and salt marshes.